So the title of this video is probably going to be too long to put into the caption point. So I had my reward day yesterday. I got some McDonald's and I went to the movies. It was a good movie. It's good in the fact of the level of reality about it, because in the end of the film, Joker gets killed, which fits my synopsis of who the Joker is. The Joker was an ideology, and that he was like a representation of people who have been shat on and shat on and shat on ever since they were young. Now, I couldn't really connect to the Joker in this movie because he's the same character, but it's 5 years later, so I can connect fully to his origin story, except for the level of abuse he went through with his parents, sexual and physical. I mean, I can only think of 3 times growing up when things were more than just a punch on the shoulder, or a punch in the shoulder. Habitual radio station. Oh, it's not radio station, but see, look, no one's smoking. But it's just a habitual thing. I know, my pocket's got a bottle full of water in it. So on this shift, we got no access to the, well, not that I know of. I mean, actually, no, we do. I was going to say we don't have any access to the coffee. Start at 7:30, and it's only a small shift, small hours, 7:30 to 1 a.m. So I got my gear packed in the car for the gym. I don't mind going to the gym after 12-hour workout, but if they're like, I gotta listen to my body. Like if it's towards the end of the week and I've had like 50, well, it doesn't happen now. It's just this time of the year. Things will pick up around the most busiest time of the year is December, January. It's pretty much like we need you to work 60 hours. Well, that's what happened last year and the year before, and then the rest of the week is varying between 45 and 60 hours. But that could change this week. You never know. It is 2004 heading into 2025. It's not 2023 heading into 2024 or 22 into 23. But, I noticed the patterns. I made a mistake. I was like, I spent $30 on going to the Wellington Phoenix. This is the second time I bought a ticket to the Wellington Phoenix, but I asked for leave, and then they reminded me that that's the busiest time of the year. It's just I've never been to a professional soccer game before. And here in Wellington, the professional soccer team, well, it's the only professional soccer team in New Zealand, Wellington Phoenix. And I bought a ticket to the professional Wellington cricket because I want to see the cricket, soccer, rugby, netball and basketball Wellington teams and New Zealand national teams. And I've seen I've seen the Wellington Hurricanes rugby, and the All Blacks, that's rugby, and that's New Zealand's rugby and New Zealand's cricket team. But I repeated my mistakes because I got the tickets for, was it that time? Was it? No. Now, I remember purchasing a ticket for the Wellington Phoenix their last season, but it was later on. I just didn't give enough notice. I don't think it was. Anyhow, those who are raised to be successful hate it when those who weren't raised to be successful don't give up and become successful. But also, those who weren't raised to be successful hate it when those who were raised to be successful become successful. what prompted me to do this was a couple of things. I forgot one of them, but one of them was props to Terry Joel Jr. So I watched his. I'm halfway through watching his video, and my thought pattern is he probably would have been the guy that was like really successful, but I don't think he would have been the guy that would have walked up to me and said, "Hey, little, you know what," and then start shit talking me or all this type of stuff, and the next thing you know, he wants to be friends, and I'm like, yes, I got a chance to learn things and better my life, and then you're in a social situation, and then you're like standing on the spot, and he's like there with 2 or 3 guys and maybe 2 or 3 girls as well, and then starts humiliating you and makes you feel like shit, and then walks off. I don't think he would have been that guy. I think he would have been the type of guy of like, I'm giving advice, and I'm not dissing you or disrespecting you or trashing you or anything like that. I'm not doing like that. But you can see I've got these results, so why don't I'm just here to give some advice. I think he would have been that guy. So here's the thing: is they just hate it, because I remember the goal of my parents was like, you know what? I think I remember when I was 24 years old, I was singing the song from Maria and Marina and the Diamonds. I am not a robot, and it's something that stuck with me to this day. My mother said, "Wow, I think that you actually do have emotions." But I'd been sharing my emotions my whole life. I just didn't know I was autistic, and I just didn't know I was ADHD. But that's 12 years ago, so now it's something to laugh about, but it wasn't something to laugh about at the time. That set me off. I was like, what do you mean? I've been writing in the diary. I've been having conversations with you. I'm 24 years old and you're my mother. What do you mean you're just telling me that now you actually believe that I might have emotions? What are you talking about? Mom! Except for I'm real agitated. Like, what are you talking about that I might have emotions? You've seen me cry. You've seen me get upset. You've seen me do all these things growing up. You've seen what I've been through. What do you mean? She's like, oh, but I just never picked up on, the doctors have always said that, your type don't have any emotions. And it's like, man, I'm past it now. I can laugh about it now because that's just going with the status quo type thing, There's times I'd support my mum too. So, the doctors always said that, they had a different level of knowledge, because I firmly believe that Forrest Gump not only had autism, but they had ADHD, because I didn't even know I had ADHD until last year. I thought it was an SB. I didn't even, and now Asperger's has become high-functioning autism, because they found out that the autistic people that were physically able and able to hold a job got labelled as Asperger autistic, so that the Nazis wouldn't kill them, because they still brought value to the regime, because they can profit. You're in this country and they can tax you off your work, so therefore you do have value, so we won't kill you. And that was the only reasons why the SBs didn't get killed like the other autistic people. So they were like, no, we're not autistic, we're Asperger's, because that was a lifesaver. I'm not saying everyone was like that, but there was debates. I remember the debates in the 90s and the 2000s about the differences, and now it's just, now we know all these things, it's like, well, dude, guess what? It just means level 1 autism. It just means we struggle with all the social stuff, we struggle with this and that, but we don't struggle with each other, and we are very social. But we're level 1 because we're not physically handicapped to the point we can't work. And I believe in those, and hunter-gatherer times, those with those heavy, high sensitivities, they would have been the ones out there looking around, and then the ADHD or some neurotypical be like, what's going on? And he goes, I feel there's like a lion coming, I think this and that, and then that would actually end up being a blessing that they give to the tribe. And then the ADHD and the neurotypical, maybe even, I'll go into